we'll kick it off with a rather large one, which is the Emerald Dream. So, back in patch 10.1, we, of course, had the Zarlek Cavern textures on its PTR that were... what am I even talking about? No, I actually want to go back to beta. In beta, a string was found called Dragon Isles Underground. That, of course, would later lead us to the Zarlek Cavern. Now, though, we have got... Basically, it's a quest journal background and header, and they both contain Emerald Dream in their texture names. Mm-hmm. And I mean, look at it. It's very Emerald Dreamy. And yeah, that essentially means Emerald Dream.
And not just Emerald Dream. This is actually quest background Dragonflight Emerald Dream. So this isn't like, oh, secret next expansion. It's like, no, this is literally what's coming now. It's literally next.
Yeah. So certainly not like just Emir-Drasil. Emir-Drasil is the tree that is currently in the Onaran Plains that we'll properly see in 10.1.7.
It's in the dream in the Onaran Plains.
Yes.
It's literally, you go through the dream portal and plant it in there, so it is in the dream. So we'll obviously be going in there to defend it, and then at the end of the patch we'll probably bring it back into the Onaran Plains from the dream, because that's what Alex Strasza says in that really weird flashing cutscene that we had at the end of 10.1.
That was a funky one.
Yeah. Did we even see it planted? We did, yes, in the... I can't remember what it's called, but there was a green dragonflight questline towards the end of the Murk Centaur round. It was around somewhere between 16 and 20 on the round track. That was an interesting choice for them to do.
We're going to the Emerald Dream. I think this is going to mean Emir-Drasil and then the surrounding area.
Yeah.
So we'll probably have the tree as like the real big centerpiece of our new zone.
That's what I'm thinking, and I know it was I also meant to talk about this last week but didn't, but Taliesin has a video that ultimately goes more into what he was on his second channel, I think. It was the stream clip, and he's talking a little bit about what he expects for 10.3, but he opened by talking about like 10.2, and he had a bunch of like actually really good ideas, but it was all stuff like the zone itself is kind of Ardenwealdy in that it's centered around Emir-Drasil, and it's ultimately a defense of Emir-Drasil. So we're doing all this stuff with, hey, how do we defend Emir-Drasil from the attacks of Farak and of Vyranoth? And it would be like all kind of framed around us stopping them from doing their awful things, and like even suggested maybe like a dungeon or a raid that takes place on the branches, kind of like a Mount Hagel 2, but good this time, instead of completely awful and terrible and boring, which I think would be a really, really good callback to Hagel, which is, obviously the original world tree as far as like Warcraft is concerned with the experience of the game, not literally, but I think that's pretty important. I think just that would be really cool to do that, but it's definitely going to take place in the dream, because it's not going to take place not in the dream, because that would suck ass, honestly. So we'll be there in the dream. There'll be ice, there'll be fire, there'll be a quest name making Song of Ice and Fire jokes. Of course there will be, and that'll be good because quest name jokes are usually pretty funny. The only reason I remember some of the Ardenweald quests is because the mask quest line, which went into like the Drust masks and all the mind control, and the whole story of the zone was actually all just explained in a series of quests that had Persona 5 references to like Persona 5 song lyric references. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's there's so many ways they can mess this up, but I'm trying to manifest good energy in the universe and go, they won't, it's fine. They won't, it's fine. They won't, it's fine. It'll be good. It'll be respectful of all of the lore and all the cultures that are involved in the Emerald Dream, and it will feel Emerald Dreamy like I thought it was when I went to Moonglade the first time on Druid. Because they don't do that. If they don't make me feel happy going back in my head to seeing Moonglade for the first time, they've failed. That's my metric for success. And bad ending, another burn tree. So now this might betray how I think the narrative design team may be a little bit simple in how they do things. I am assuming it's just going to be a fake out for burn tree. Farak's going to go burn the tree. We're going to try to burn the tree, and then we'll be like, he's burning the tree, and then we'll all have to
World of Warcraft. This time we didn't burn the tree.
Exactly.
Is that basically the name of this patch?
Exactly, but it's going to be a fake out. We're going to feel like it's going to be burned. It's going to be very close to being burned. It's going to be slightly on fire, and then Vyrnoth will come in and like put out the fire or something. That's what I think, because if I think like the very first level of how would I subvert expectations, that's what I would do, and that's how I think they've run so far, more or less.
All right, well, interesting.